Mizzy World back to present a Mizzy World original Snowfall recap. I ain't been here in 2 fucking episodes. Last time I did a recap was episode 5. Fuck was I doing? I mean, so just to catch up a little bit up to episode 8 of season 3 of Snowfall, I'm gonna give y'all what was the one thing that stood out to me from each episode of 6 and 7, and then of course I'm gonna get back to the original format with the 3 things that stood out to me from episode 8, and then what I expect to come in the rest of the season. My bold prediction, you dig? But for episode 6, what was the one thing that stood out to me? The one thing that stood out to me about episode 6 was really the way Franklin just moving now. I believe in episode 6 he just pulled up. Will was with Leon, Fatback, just the squad. You feel what I'm saying? Leon, Fatback, and there was one more person. It wasn't even Peaches. I don't know what happened to D-Ray Davis the rest of this fucking season, but that's neither here nor there. He hop out. I'm thinking they about to go hit Man Boy. They about to go hit somebody else. He pulling up on motherfucking Javi like that. I'm like, dang. Okay. And when he get in the crib, he the first nigga to pull a strap. Everybody else move accordingly, pull their straps out. They on freeze mode. And Franklin like, what's good? Where that information at? Or where that bread at, my nigga? You feel what I'm saying? So that was the one thing that stood out to me about episode 6 was just the way that Franklin moving. He's seasoned in this shit. Like, he fully seasoned in that. And this is kind of foreshadowing into my takes for episode 8. If you've seen episode 8. What was the one thing that stood out to me for episode 7? The one thing that stood out to me for episode 7 was just how fucking smoked out Mel was. And how I believe maybe... Nah, it didn't. But the way it just... affected Franklin in a moment. If you haven't seen episode 8 yet, you're gonna see why I said in a moment. But it was just the way Mel was smoked out and how that was really the first time that Snowfall portrayed the one story that everybody knows and tells in the hood about a fiend. She was the prom queen. She was the bad joint. She was the joint that was supposed to be it. Smoked the fuck out now. Every hood know that story and know that crackhead. And they finally presented it with Mel. She was supposed to be in Spelman. She was going to leave the next day. And her dumb ass, she the one that suggested it. Talking about, no, I think it was the bull that suggested it. But she was like, all right, let's do it. It was the fucking bull. And Franklin would have told her, nah, we ain't doing this shit. Because he looked at her on some weird shit when she pulled the coke out to snort it. So that was the one thing that stood out to me was just how smoked the fuck out Mel was. You feel what I'm saying? And how they finally depicted that everyday normal hood story that's just too well known nowadays of the girl that had everything in front of her and threw it away over drugs. You feel what I'm saying? Or that person, but for the most part, we know that female, that she was bad as shit, then you see her now just hit stick. You feel what I'm saying? You want to fuck her with your worst enemy dick. You dig what I'm saying? Now on to the present episode recap. Episode 8, season 3 of Snowfall. The 3 things that stood out to me. The number 3 thing that stood out to me was, Man Boy got something up his sleeve. For him to keep everything calm, he kicked Wanda out. Motherfucking Leon just fucked Bull up after he stole on him, and they was trapping on his turf. You feel what I'm saying? He's keeping everything calm with Franklin trying to gain his trust for a reason. He told Bull, like, you got tunnel vision. Good thing I see the whole field. And I don't think that means he wants a bigger role in Franklin's organization. I think he wants Franklin's organization. And he's just gaining that trust little by little by little. Man Boy got something up his motherfucking sleeve. I'm sorry. Like, Leon just whooped your motherfucking right-hand man ass for trapping on y'all turf. He like, nigga, like, that shit was crazy. You feel what I'm saying? That shit was crazy. Number 2 thing that stood out to me was the fact that Mel was still so smoked out. She even had the face when the niggas did the head nod when Franklin came. Like, she already knew what that meant. She like, oh, this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Broke down to him. No, I go back, this, that, and the third. Just to knee him in the fucking groin. This bitch out here stealing. And it was dope as shit the way they edited it up to show, like, her progression from just being a conventional smoker of crack to really being fucking fiend out. You feel what I'm saying? Just totally fiend the fuck out. That shit was crazy. That shit was dope. And now she was ready to go back, even though, I mean, crack got such a hold on these people. And if you ever remember the first season when Kev first smoked crack, the next day, Franklin was like, how you feel? He said, it felt like it's a little animal on my brain. He said, it's like a little spider on my brain. He said he felt like it was a bug on his brain when he was sober off of it. So for them, it's not necessarily, like, it's to get high because it's the 80s. This shit is pure. You feel what I'm saying? But it's also because when they not high, they feeling something. You dig what I'm saying? So you add that into effect, and she was about to go back, but we don't know if she would have went back. But now, a segue into the number one thing that stood out to me, Franklin himself smoked Andre? That shit was fucking crazy. Like, and then Andre, like, you a smart kid, you not gonna shoot a cop in his crib. He had the gun down. He just listening to him. But Franklin smart. Oh yeah, I ain't gonna shoot you from this distance. This nigga walked up on him, shot him point blank range. Made it look like a motherfucking suicide. Put the gun in his hand. Fingerprints is from Andre. It's Andre gun. Franklin is a fucking genius, and like he's a evil genius at this point. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he's out here. And imagine when Mel show up after she like, all right, I'm good. I want to get clean. I don't want to do this shit no more. And her pop dead. This shit gonna get real. This shit is gonna get super real. The prediction for me for the season, Franklin gonna get booked. Reed is gonna kill his ex-wife and baby mom. Yes. Reed gonna kill his ex-wife and his baby. I thought he was gonna do it this episode 8, but I feel as though before the season is out, he is going to kill her or get her killed. One or the other. And I feel as though Franklin gonna get booked this season. Again. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all know what it is. Mizzy World is fucking back to present a Mizzy World original Snowfall recap. Little glance into 6 and 7, episode 6 and 7, but really recap on episode 8. Y'all know what it is. Mizzy World Snowfall recap.